Welcome back to Blackman Cycle TV. As promised, we have Josh here from the Piaggio group. He is the regional manager of the brand. And of course, we're talking Piaggio, we're talking Vespa, scooter-wise, and then we're talking some muscle, some fuel, some speed, Aprilia, and Moto Guzzi. We'll get to Vespa and Piaggio in a little bit, but right now I want to talk to you, Josh, about Aprilia, what's currently going on, what's the future of Aprilia, and talk about some of the crazy makes and models we have, including some that there's 100 of them in the entire world, and we have a few of them here at Blackman Cycle.
Yeah, Aprilia is a fantastic brand. I've been with the company for just about 3 years now, a little over 3 years. The RSV4, which we're sitting by right here, is the flagship bike for the company. The RSV4 Factory, 2019 Super Bike of the Year.
Nice.
The results for 2020 aren't out yet, but really the offerings from the other manufacturers haven't really changed that much. And this bike's been around essentially for 10 years now.
Wow. Okay.
And they've done minor changes throughout the course of its history, and every year it's a slight improvement. And just about any year, if you pick up any motorcycle magazine, look at any review online, the V4 lineup, whether it's the Tuono or the RSV4, is in the top three, if not the top for the year. For 2020, we released the Aprilia Mizano collection. So only 100 made worldwide of each version, the RSV4 and the Tuono. And basically, the color pattern livery goes back to 1987 to one of our first road racing world championships at Mizano.
That's awesome.
Which is why it gets that.
And I noticed that. Yeah, Mizano, is that a track or is that a race?
That's a track.
Okay.
Actually, it's in San Marino, the Republic of San Marino, which is its own little entity in Italy. People from that republic like to call themselves San Marinans, but it's essentially it's
Italy.
Yeah.
Okay. With the RSV4 and the Tuono, the biggest thing I see, it's because I do a lot of the marketing here and I do all the photos and videos, is where the handlebars are. What's the difference between those models?
So one of the things that Aprilia has always been known for, when they first released the Tuono as a V-twin, it's now a V4, but when it first came out as a twin, and I'm going to botch this, but it was the early 2000s, they were the first manufacturer to really build a proper naked sports bike.
Okay.
Most manufacturers that do a naked upright version of their fully fared sport bike usually water it down quite a bit, whether it's through electronics, different cam timing. Aprilia doesn't make that.
No cutting of any corners, no nothing.
Cutting. Yes, the RSV4 is going to have a little bit different things going on. It is a little faster, it does have a little more power, but in a nutshell, the Tuono is just as much of a beast as the RSV4, but it does it in a comfortable package.
Nice.
I'm personally a Tuono rider.
Okay.
I just like to sit upright a little bit more. I'm getting a little too old for that. Has all the same electronics, traction control, safety features. And again, that's what you get with Aprilia, unlike some of the other brands out there. The advanced electronics that are there to keep you safe. So even though we're talking about over 200 horsepower out of this one here, even an intermediate rider can jump on this machine and feel comfortable.
And that being said, Aprilia, they're fast bikes. They're incredible bikes. Something for everybody.
Yeah. Essentially, yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do have the Shiver and the Dorsa Duro, which is a 900cc twin. A lot of people might think, well, that's a big motorcycle, 900. I'm used to being on a 600. Again, we go back to the safety features. One of the things that Aprilia has done really well, and they've always been innovators with their electronics package and safety features that allow you to essentially buy a motorcycle that 15 years ago I might have tried to talk you out of buying, but today with the advancements that they've made, you can buy a bike like that and grow into it.
Awesome.
Instead of going through this displacement, that displacement, and then finally making your way up to that.
Sure.
But we also have the 660 coming out in 2021, which is actually going to, big news is going to come out about that next month.
Okay.
We're actually going to be taking, finally releasing the price of the bike, and as well as a dedicated website that's going to allow people to pre-order the bike.
Awesome.
Through the local dealers.
Very cool. So you can find out everything, obviously, through blackmancycle.com. We have Josh here from the Piaggio group. We're talking Piaggio. We're talking Vespa, Moto Guzzi, Aprilia. Stick around. Be right back with Blackman Cycle TV. We're going to go on to another Speed Demon line of bikes, Moto Guzzi, on the way next, right here on Blackman Cycle TV. Hey everybody, it's Chris with Blackman Cycle to talk about the Tanqueray 700.
Nope.
Hey everybody, it's Chris. We're talking about the Tirana 7.
Nope.
No. Hey Hey, it's Chris Lang. We're here to talk about the Turini.
No.
Hey, it's Chris. We're gonna leave it up to Sammy.
Hey guys, Sam at BLACKMANS Cycle Center, here to show you today the 2021 Yamaha Tenera 700. This is a super anticipated release from Yamaha. These were first conceptualized in 2016. You guys have been waiting for this a while. It's finally here. So I'd like to just show you a couple things about this machine, what makes it so special. All right, let's get at it. Then the big thing about this guy, everybody knows and loves the Yamaha CP2 crossplane twin. This is straight out of the XSR 700 and MT-07 motor. Everybody knows and loves, super reliable, awesome flat power band, really well suited for off-road riding. They took this motor right out of the XSR and the MT, didn't change the internals one bit, built an entirely new chassis around it. So you notice it's very high slung, get a good drivetrain angle here to reduce squat. So this thing is very well planted. 4852 rear bias helps keep that front end light for off-road riding. Suspension travel 8 inches. I mean, that's plenty to do what you want it to do. Another great thing about this bike, the 4-way projector LED headlights. They are quick adjustable with your knobs on each side. Very, very bright. You'll be able to see the trails. You have this beautiful big LCD display. It's got all the functions you need, none of the stuff you don't. Very easy to see at a glance. Not a whole lot of extraneous electronics on this bike. You have ABS, one single button to turn that off when you hit the dirt. You have no traction control, no cruise control, none of that extra stuff that you don't really need on the bike anyway. Keeps that price point down below $10,000. Most of your competitors' bikes are going to be a several $1,000 premium. So a lot of value in a small package here from Yamaha. Now, I did get a chance to ride one of these a couple months ago. Yamaha brought one out, a test unit. Very well planted on the road, do 80 miles an hour all day long, did some very light off-roading. Felt super, super confident. I can't wait to get some more seat time on this machine. I'm in love with it. I think you guys will be too. So any questions about these, you want to pre-order them, give me a call, 610-965-9865. And just so you guys are aware, this Tenera 700 is super, super limited. If you want one, get one on hold for you. They're not going to last. I'd be surprised if any of these made it to my showroom floor. This is the 2021 Yamaha Tenera 700.
Wear a helmet.
Welcome back to BLACKMANS Cycle TV. Josh here from the Piaggio group. We just covered, in case you missed it, Aprilia, amazing brand from Italy. We're going to get to Vespa and we're going to get to Piaggio scooters in a minute. But right now I want to talk about one of my personal favorites, Moto Guzzi. I am a huge fan, Josh, of the V73 line. I love the 10th anniversary and the limited edition. My personal favorites. Too big for me, but the El Dorado. Yeah. Fantastic bike. To me, it makes it looks like it'll put like just Harley to shame if you were to put those two next to each other. I can say that because I can. Okay. Just love the bikes. The V73 Rough. I think we have a pre-owned over here. Nothing but great things to say. But you're the expert on it. Let's just talk Moto Guzzi. And again, same thing. What's going on right now? What's coming up in the future? Let's talk about a few models and give people a real close-up of what Moto Guzzi has to offer.
Yeah, Moto Guzzi, there's really one word, not one word, but one sentence to really kind of sum it up. I mean, since 1921. We're coming up on a 100-year anniversary.
Nice.
Moto Guzzi is the longest continually produced European motorcycle manufacturer on the planet.
Awesome.
Never missed a year of production.
Wow.
One of the things, like you said, that draws me to Moto Guzzi, and that's again the unique thing about working for the Piaggio group is, unlike some others, you have a very wide range of brands to work with inside each other.
Yeah.
You're with Kawasaki, you're Kawasaki. You're Suzuki. Piaggio group is like kind of like General Motors,
yeah,
in a way. So Moto Guzzi, again, 100 years. The thing that really draws me to them too is that you don't see them everywhere. The people that my co-workers in this company, you refer to every other motorcycle as a Me Too bike.
Yeah.
Meaning, oh, I have that. Me too. You know, I have one of those.
Me too bike. Hey.
Motorcycling to me is about individuality.
Yeah.
And I think the Moto Guzzi brand can really help express that.
Sure.
Like you said, the V7 line has definitely been the most popular model in the modern Moto Guzzi era.
I think they're just slick. They're just cool bikes.
Yeah. You said the El Dorado, the big 1400 cruiser line. You're right. I'm not a cruiser guy by nature, but I've yet to ride a better handling cruiser than the Moto Guzzi.
Tell me about the El Dorado. I believe it's the El Dorado. Something about the motor with the way they're put. They sideways. There's something with the drivetrain or the motor. There's something different about that bike. I remember the guys, Jeff or somebody, talking about how awesome it was.
All Moto Guzzis
have
the same engine characteristic.
Okay.
It's an opposed V twin.
Okay.
So similar to a boxer motor on the other Bavarian brand. I won't mention names.
Yep.
But with a Moto Guzzi, you have a crankshaft that rotates this way inside the motorcycle instead of this way in the traditional engine.
Sure.
What that does is that mass, that inertia, actually helps Moto Guzzis go through the corners.
Displacement of stuff.
It transitions as you go through the corners so much. It's effortless. You always want to reduce your rotating mass. And again, having it go in a non-traditional way just helps you get the bike leaned over left, right. And even though it's spinning one direction, it actually improves the handling in both left and right corners. In fact, if you're sitting still in a Moto Guzzi and you flip the throttle, the whole bike will pull to one side.
What is a bike that is very popular that people should definitely check out, and what is a bike that you think people are seriously missing out on? Like, you don't have this or you haven't looked at this, you need to. Like, what are people missing the boat on with Moto Guzzi?
Well, with Moto Guzzi, really, right now we have the 1400 line, which the Eldorado, the big cruiser, the V7, the V9, and then the V85. The V7, it's a great entry-level bike, but it's also a great bike for people that just want to throw back. It's very analog. Another thing I really love about Moto Guzzi. They have, again, all of them have ABS, traction control, multifunctional, so the safety features are there for you. But if there's any bike out there right now that's still very analog, you feel really connected to it, the Moto Guzzi is definitely that.
Okay.
Even the ones that have ride-by-wire throttle systems, you still feel like you're pulling a cable.
Sure.
The V85, new bike for this year, actually came out middle of last year as a 2020. It did arrive a little bit late, but that bike, bang for the buck, the best adventure bike in the middle adventure bike segment. And even for the people that never see a dirt road, it's the most practical bike. You have storage, it's comfortable, you can ride it all day, and it still handles better than most bikes did 15, 20 years ago.
Very cool. Thank you, Josh. Josh from Piaggio Group. We'll be right back. We're going to talk more about Vespa and Piaggio scooters. Again, Moto Guzzi, Aprilia, right here on sale at BLACKMANS, 7 days a week, 64 years, 18 brands, 7 days a week, blackmancycle.com. We'll be right back with Blackman Cycle TV to talk with Josh from Piaggio about scooters. All right, we are back. Blackman Cycle TV. It's Chris Line with Josh from the Piaggio Group. Josh is the regional manager. In other words, he is man, myth, and legend, which means I should be quiet and let him talk. Vespa and Piaggio scooters, something new to the Blackman's lineup. We're happy to have them. Now we're talking my kind of territory. I'm a scooter guy. I love scooters. I've seen them come in and out. I've seen people come in and out with them. It makes their day, their life. And man, I love them.
First, I want to set the record straight, so we all understand this. Piaggio is Vespa. Always has been, always will. Every Vespa that you see has the Piaggio badge on it. Vespa started off as just a model back in 1946. It was the Piaggio Vespa. I said earlier about General Motors, it's like the Chevy Corvette. Vespa has morphed into its own iconic brand.
Sure.
And people do associate the Vespa.
Every Vespa is a Piaggio.
Every Vespa is a Piaggio.
Gotcha.
Vespa actually in Italian means wasp, which is, if you look at a traditional Vespa, it looks like the body of a wasp.
Okay.
So we've morphed into that. The Piaggio line of scooters has then since kind of become its own entity in modern times.
Sure.
And it's the more economical version. They're all powered by the same motor. So what you get in a Vespa 50 or a Vespa 150, it's the same power plant that's in the Piaggio 50 or 150. It's just different construction, more economical. And oddly enough, if you go over to Europe, especially in Italy, you will see more Piaggio scooters on the road than Vespas.
Vespa. Okay.
One of the big reasons for that is the Piaggio scooters have a bigger front wheel and back wheel. This allows them to go over those old cobblestone roads a lot better. In the United States, Vespa is a little bit more popular, but it comes at a premium price tag, but you get a lot for that extra money. Probably the most popular model that Piaggio and Vespa make is the 150cc displacement. In fact, we have the highest market share in 150cc scooters this year. During this odd pandemic situation, scooter sales are just bonkers through the roof. Yeah. But with a Vespa, the difference is really the construction. It's a monocoque chassis. Essentially, it was designed by aircraft engineers after World War II in 1946. So the people that were designing aircraft for the Italian Air Force, well, they couldn't make military airplanes anymore. They needed something to do. They took their knowledge and put it into scooters, which was really there to get people back to work to help rebuild Italy after World War II. Wow. So it's an all-metal frame. It's light. The handling on it is second to none. If we were just drag racing Piaggio 150s and Vespa 150s, I'm in. They're going to come out at the same. So really, it comes down to fit, finish, and construction on the difference.
Is the braking system? Does that have anything to do with the airplane parts and the airplane company? I knew that because first of all, they look wicked, and I'll show you them. They look incredible. If you look at the wheels of these scooters and the braking system on them, incredible. But I remember somebody had mentioned it had something to do with airplane companies, etc., etc.
And again, this goes back to 1946. So they got these aircraft engineers to design the Vespa. Yeah. The front wheel setup on a Vespa has been and always will be what was at the time the tail dragging wheel that didn't get destroyed after World War II. They repurposed that. It doesn't telescope like a traditional fork. Okay. On a motorcycle or even a Piaggio scooter with a traditional fork, when you squeeze the front brake, the front end dives. On a Vespa, you don't get that. So the wheelbase doesn't change as much. Again, that goes back to the superior handling on a Vespa scooter.
Real quick pointers on a couple of them, just because we have them and they're unique. We have the, and again, I'll let you get into the details. Is it the 946, the red scooter that we have? That's a special scooter that we have from Piaggio and Vespa. And then also, is it, I'm going to say his name wrong, Sean Witherspoon?
Yes.
I nailed it. That one looks like, and again, the only way I can really say this is it looks like the Volkswagen from like 15, 20 years ago that had like 40 different panels on it, and it looked like a Cosby sweater.
So first you mentioned the red. That was actually, the 946 has been around since I believe 2014. I could be wrong on that, but the 946 has come out in a couple different versions. We had the Armani version, so there's always some kind of high-end affiliation to go with it. And again, the 946 commemorates 1946 when Piaggio group was formed.
Cool. All right, didn't know that. Yeah.
The red version actually is part of the Red Foundation. So part of the proceeds in every sale goes to help fight HIV and AIDS in Africa.
Awesome.
We've then, for 2021, we've released a Primavera Red, which is a 50 and a 150cc.
Oh, okay.
That also has a portion of the proceeds going to that as well. The Sean Witherspoon, I didn't know who this person was until this came out.
I did some research. I know his shoes are like $3,000 on eBay if you look for them.
Yeah, that just shows our age, right? Yeah. We partnered with him to design the scooter. He went over to Italy to the factory, designed it with his own special taste.
Awesome.
And we're completely sold out of them.
That's crazy.
So whatever's out there in the dealer network is all you're really going to see.
Awesome.
I know Justin Bieber just took delivery of his over the weekend.
I saw that. It was on TMZ. I saw it.
Yeah.
Most people that ride motorcycles have no idea what TMZ is, but I do.
Yeah. It's surprising how many celebrities actually ride.
Awesome.
I'm not necessarily a fan of his music.
Yeah.
But he's
got good taste in scooters.
He's been a motorcyclist for a while. He has quite a few.
Talk about the Electrica from Piaggio and Vespa. Real amazing bike.
So Electrica came out last year as a 2020, and we've now moved into 2021. Two versions, a 30 mile an hour and a 45 mile an hour. What we've seen with the Electrica, aside from the environmental friendliness of it, it's a 110 outlet. If you don't need any special
nice.
Plug,
okay, that's good.
Plug it into your wall socket and charge it. That's been a really good selling point with the Electrica, but it's just great around town. It's the perfect commuter. It has about a 65 to 70 mile range.
They're so quiet too.
Yeah, super quiet. Really, we're talking about the performance of a 50cc. So here in Pennsylvania, you don't need a motorcycle license to own and operate an Electrica.
Good point.
But the nice thing about the Electrica also is if you are going to ride with a passenger, it has bonkers torque.
This is a fantastic company, fantastic group of motorcycles. Again, Aprilia, Moto Guzzi, the Vespa Piaggio group, Piaggio Vespa group, I should say. All of it available here at Blackman Cycle. Everything online. We have custom walk-around videos, photos. Come into the showroom 7 days a week and check it out. Josh is here often. So any questions you have for him, you can certainly reach out. We'll make sure we get those questions answered for you through blackmancycle.com. Josh, again, regional manager for the Piaggio group, one of our great friends and associates here. Huge thank you for shining some light on some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Even people that work here, I'm sure there's a few things you touched on that we would have never known. You know, even historical stuff. People love that kind of jargon. So big thank you to you.
No, absolutely.
For being here. Nope. And thank all of you for all the support with all these amazing brands. And we have more after this. Stick around. And again, anything on Piaggio, Vespa, of course, Moto Guzzi and Aprilia, blackmancycle.com. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.